Okay, so here's how to play the solo from How Would You Feel by Ed Sheeran. Baby making music, if I ever heard it. We start off with our first finger at 14th fret. This is a very repetitive guitar solo. We kind of have 4 lines, which you will see tabbed out in full if you click the link onto the website. Into the top corner, you'll see the tab for this that I'm using to teach this lesson. And each line starts with this exact same pattern. That's starting at 14th fret, which is 2 frets above the double dot that you should have on most guitars, have them anyway. 14th fret, so that would be 12 at the double dot, 13, 14. Third finger at 16th fret, 14, then a string down, that's string 3. Back to 16, 14. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 5. Picking this with alternate picking. Seems to be the best way to do it. And this is using the A major pentatonic scale. The minor pentatonic would be that kind of shape, which I'm sure many of you are familiar with. This major pentatonic starts with exactly the same pattern, but it starts on the little finger rather than the first finger. So this is an A note all the way up at 17th fret. It's that exact same pattern, and that's where we're staying. That's where all the notes come from in this. It's all major pentatonic based, and that's the first note to it. The next part is a bend of 16th fret up to the pitch of 18, so a full bend. That note wants to sound like this, up to the pitch of 18. A full bend. Remember to support your bend with, we're bending with the third finger, but supporting with the middle and first finger. Thumb hooking over the top, so we're getting this sort of good leverage or good grip with the thumb. And then we're not really pushing upwards, we're tilting the wrist. We're moving in this kind of motion. I'm bending this really with my arm and wrist. Certainly not with my fingers. I'm not pushing up with my fingers. If you notice, my fingers actually stay pretty still. It's my wrist that kind of moves up or around like this. So bending up and then bend back. I believe that's exactly how every line of these 4 lines will start. So that's what we need to get first of all. Okay, and then after that, a slight vibrato there, but I'm doing too much of that, to be honest. There's not too much vibrato in this, it's quite safe. After that, there's a variation which is based around the first time it happens, which is based around that lick, and that was a bend up, unbend, so this is 16, unbent, flick off to the first finger at 14. We need 3 clear notes there. We need 1, 2, 3, and then we hammer on the third finger at 16th fret, a string down. You can pick it as well, but hammering it on makes it nice and quiet. It's a quieter note than the others, that one. That is the first line of this really cool guitar solo, to be honest. Really don't want to be attempting this on acoustic guitar. This is really for the electric guitars with cutaways, so you can get up this area of the neck. The second line starts exactly the same. exactly the same, but it's a very similar lick to finish, but not exactly the same. This is where the variations kick in. That last one was little pinky on 17th fret of the B string, the same bend as before, but finishing with an extra note. So we're still doing, but we finished there. And we've added 2 notes. We've added the first one, which is here, and we've added this one as well. So the end of the top line was, sounds very much like a bit of Are You Gonna Go My Way? It's exactly the same lick, and has been stolen and used in this, rightly so as well. And then the second one, bit easier to be honest. So those first 2 lines in total. That's the top line, second line. Third line, surprise, surprise, starts exactly the same. And then we jump up a position. So we were in this position, and there's another 4 notes here. And that's that next part. This is kind of in a triplet pattern, so we pick 17th fret with our first finger. Sorry, I got sweaty fingers. First finger, third finger hammers on at 19. First finger's already holding down, so it's already holding down both of these at 17th fret. And then we hammer, and that's the whole thing. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2 with the hammer on, 3, and then 1 more on its own there. As I mentioned in my lesson, this is a really similar solo to Wonderful Tonight. It's kind of... It has a very similar sort of fingerstyle to this, and I'll be teaching that one soon on my channel. So definitely check out that solo if this is something that you're really wanting to work on, but you maybe want a solo that's a tad easier to get used to these finger motions. Wonderful Tonight would be wonderful to learn before. So that third line out of the 4 was... They all start the same, they all start exactly like that, and then... Pick, hammer, pick, pick, hammer, pick, pick. And the 4th line, straightforward, but the very last part is very tricky. So that, obviously the start, exactly the same as what we've done so far, but then this bit, there, it's the same as the first one, and then kind of 2 sections to it. Number 1 and number 2. Pick, unbend, flick, pick, first finger. And then to finish, well, let me just do that one more time. Here we go. So the very last part is even trickier again and doesn't really follow the same kind of principle. So let's go from the second half of all of this. So this would be going for that part, just to recap the second half. And then the final line number 4. And then right at the end, well, this is actually the bit that I'm least sure about. I'm pretty sure, I haven't seen him play this. This has all been worked out by ear. But that last part sounds like what he's doing. I'm not 100% on the positions. This is what I'm going to show you for what the notes are. I'm very confident they're all the notes. I'm not confident that's the position. But that's that little run to finish it off. All done really. Pick, pick. Those 3 notes. 1, 2, 3. First finger, 2 slides needed there. But I wouldn't focus too much on that last part, that's just a nice little run to finish it. But most of you are going to be getting that first part to sound as solid as possible. You really, without this, without that sounding as close to that as you can get, this solo doesn't work. It needs to sound like that phrasing wise. You know, so that bend is so important. I imagine a few of you are either overdoing it, you know, kind of, it sounds like you're strangling it or something, or probably underbending it as well. It needs to be, it sound like that. I'm using a set of 9 gauge strings on this, so that would be 9, 11, 14, something like that. So it means the strings are much thinner and easier to bend. You can even get 8s, which would be 8, 10, 12 or something like that. And they all go proportionate in the thickness of string. And your guitar that you're using as standard, if this is the first time you've ever bent a string or anything like that, they're probably a bit too thick. They're probably 10s. I'd recommend you get thinner strings on it. But just to have a full play through, nice and slowly from the top of this solo, remember the tab is in the top corner on the website, free to view, and I'm working on a way to get these tabs downloadable as well for you guys, but for now you just view them on the website. Let's give it a go one last time. That's where we'll be starting off as always, and we have, that's all in the last beat of the bar. So 1, 2, 3. That's the top line, second line, 2, 3. Little finger. Third line. Jump up to 17. And final line. Finishing with that, probably. If that bit changes, I will let you guys know on the website. But that is how to play How Would You Feel. Check out more of the easy-ish guitar solos, or at least very doable guitar solos on my website by clicking the links on the screen now. They're on the screen now. Oh yeah.